Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we sift through, you know, articles, studies, sometimes just personal stories, and pull out the most interesting, maybe surprising bits for you. Today, our mission is, well, it's about looking at something really simple, something most of us probably haven't given a second thought to since, I don't know, elementary school, the jump rope. Yeah, the jump rope. And we're going deep on how this basic thing has kind of quietly become this super specialized piece of fitness gear. Our main source paints this great picture. The author is just like running an errand, right? Quick trip to the store, and they take a detour, end up in the sporting goods section, and just stop dead, staring at this shelf packed with jump ropes. But it wasn't just, the simple plastic ones we remember. It was this whole range, like a huge variety of different kinds. It really shows how much some things change without us even noticing. This quiet evolution happening on store shelves.
hmm And that moment of surprise the author felt, seeing maybe 5, 6, 7 different types, that really nails the core idea here. We tend to think simple tools stay simple, static, right?
Yeah.
But they're constantly being tweaked, optimized, and it's not just random variations. It seems much more deliberate. Like manufacturers are really zoning in on specific users, specific environments, their engineering specificity.
Right. It wasn't just fancy packaging either. The author actually used some AI identification tech to check, and it confirmed, yeah, these are genuinely different. It cataloged 4 distinct types based on, materials, weight, how they were meant to be used.
Which is a pretty modern way to analyze fitness gear, actually.
Definitely. So let's break down the spectrum. Where do we start? What's the baseline?
Well, you have to start with the light jump rope. That's kind of the default, the one most people probably picture. It's often called the standard or maybe a speed rope. And its main feature is just that it's, well, light, minimal weight.
Okay, the basic model. But if there are all these fancy new versions, why is this one still around? Why does it matter?
Good question. It's about accessibility and speed in a basic sense. These are usually made from PVC, maybe a thin wire with a coating. They're inexpensive, easy to carry around. It's the lowest barrier to entry, really. For the maker, it's about enabling quick turns, lots of revolutions per minute. Basic cardio, endurance building, it's kind of the reference point. Every other specialized rope is either trying to improve on this for a specific goal or diverge completely because the user needs something different.
So it sets the standard they're all reacting to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it has limitations, too. Because it's long and light, you need a fair bit of space to swing it properly. That requires momentum.
Okay, that makes sense. And that need for space or maybe wanting more speed, that leads us to the specialized stuff, right?
Precisely. It takes us towards a high-performance end, where it's less about general fitness and really all about technique.
Which brings us to the double under jump rope. Now, this one, the name basically says it all, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's built for one specific, pretty tough move. The double under. That's swinging the rope twice under your feet for every single jump.
Yeah, it's quite a feat of coordination and speed.
It sounds like a physics challenge as much as a workout.
It kind of is, and the design has to reflect that. The source points out that for double unders, you need incredible consistency and speed. We're talking potentially over 100 rotations per minute, sometimes more. So the rope can't just be light. It needs to be engineered for precision. Ultra precise, really.
Okay, so what does that mean in terms of, like, how it's built? What makes it different?
Well, think about how the standard light rope spins. It's often just the rope material turning inside the handle, right? Maybe a simple booking. But the double under ropes, they usually have high-quality ball bearings inside the handles, proper precision bearings.
Ah, okay, like in skateboards or something.
Exactly like that. Those bearings drastically cut down friction, rotational drag, so the rope can accelerate almost instantly and just keep that crazy speed going.
Makes sense. Less resistance, more speed.
Right. And the cable itself is often different, too. Instead of just PVC, it might be a very thin coated steel wire, like aircraft cable.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it optimizes that ratio fast enough, but with just enough weight from the wire to maintain that centrifugal force, that arc, at high speeds.
So it really moves from being just a rope to more of a high-performance instrument, a rotational system.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's a system designed for a specific athletic output.
That technical detail is fascinating. It shows the difference, But that kind of high-speed, high-impact jumping, it's not for everyone. And this is where something the author mentioned really struck me. They talked about their own injuries. Current, rather old injuries, they said. And how those injuries mean they just can't really do that kind of intense jumping anymore. It's too high impact.
That's a really important point. And a common one.
Yeah, and it perfectly sets up the need for the next couple of categories, doesn't it? Because these
Yeah.
ones aren't about maximizing performance, they're about solving problems. Practicality, physical limits.
Exactly. What if you want the arm motion, the cardio benefit, maybe some of the rhythm,
Uh-huh.
but without slamming your joints?
Mm.
Or maybe you just don't have a huge living room or backyard.
Right, you live in an apartment or the weather's bad.
This is where the innovation shifts
Mhm.
to solve those exact problems,
Mm-hmm.
space and impact. And that brings us to the ropeless jump rope and the cordless jump rope.
Ropeless and cordless,
They
okay.
sound similar,
Mm.
and functionally they're pretty close. They basically engineer the long rope right out of the equation.
So how does the ropeless one work? What does it look like?
Okay, so imagine the handles, just like a normal jump rope. But instead of a long cord connecting them, there's just a short piece sticking out, maybe 6, 8 inches long. And on the end of that short piece, there's usually a small weighted ball.
A weighted ball.
Yep.
But there's no rope going under your feet. Why the weight? What's that doing?
That's the clever part. It's about feeling the movement. It's for feedback, proprioception. Without that long rope whipping past, your brain kind of loses the timing cue, that feeling of resistance and momentum when the rope would normally pass under you.
Right, you don't get that swoosh feeling.
Exactly. So the weighted ball on that short cord, it mimics that feeling. It gives your wrists and arms just enough resistance, enough feedback to feel like you're turning something substantial. It helps you keep the rhythm, maintain the timing for the arm and shoulder workout, coordinate the jumping motion, even though there's no actual rope to trip over.
So it's basically tricking your body's feedback system.
In a way, yeah. It's providing the sensory input you need to maintain the pattern, all while you could be standing in, like, a tiny 2-foot square space.
That's actually brilliant. It solves the space issue completely. Okay, so that's a ropeless. What about the cordless jump rope? The source says it's similar. Are they the same thing with different names?
Functionally, they achieve the same goal, letting you mimic the jump rope motion without the long cord. Perfect for indoors, low ceilings, small spaces, like we said. But in the fitness gadget world, sometimes you see slightly different terms for very similar things. It can be about marketing, maybe tiny design tweaks.
So maybe one brand calls it ropeless, another calls it cordless.
That can happen. Or sometimes the difference might be how the weight is added. Maybe the cordless version have weights you can add inside the handle itself instead of the ball and the short cord like the ropeless.
Ah, okay. Subtle differences, maybe?
Potentially. But the core function, the problem they solve for the user, is the same. They remove the barrier of needing that big, clear space to swing a rope.
Which is huge for a lot of people.
Absolutely. It means someone in a small apartment or someone who needs a lower impact workout focusing on the arm rotation now has a tool designed specifically for them.
Yeah.
The manufacturers saw that barrier and engineered ways around it.
So, okay. We've covered quite a spectrum here. We started with the basic light rope, kind of the standard accessible option. Mm-hmm. Then the really high-tech double under rope, built purely for speed and precision technique.
Right.
And finally, these clever ropeless and cordless options designed to solve the problems of space and maybe impact.
4 distinct categories, all evolved from one simple concept.
Yeah, and the author's takeaway was just that finding this much specialization in something so, ancient and simple, it was truly intriguing.
It is intriguing. And if you zoom out of it, look at the bigger picture, it says a lot about the fitness market today. It's not just about making one thing that fits all. It's evidence of this real focus on engineered specificity, hyper-focused even.
Meaning they're targeting very specific needs.
Exactly. Taking a universal idea, jumping rope for fitness, and breaking it down, segmenting it. So the elite athlete has their tool. The person working out indoors has theirs. The beginner has theirs. Maybe even the person recovering from an injury, like the author mentioned, has an option.
It's not just about selling more ropes then.
Well, probably that too. But it's also about making fitness more accessible, maybe helping people stick with it because the equipment actually fits their life, their body, their environment. Better compliance, better retention.
It really shows that innovation isn't always some brand new invention. Sometimes it's just about refining something old, optimizing it.
Fighting inertia, you could say.
Yeah.
Both physical inertia and, like, environmental inertia, the barriers that stop people from exercising.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
So yeah, 4 categories. Optimized for weight, for technique, for the environment. The big takeaway is that the modern fitness world is trying hard not to leave anyone behind, maximizing how useful even the simplest tools can be.
Okay, that wraps up our deep dive into the surprisingly complex world of the jump rope, and it leaves us with a final thought for you, something to maybe mull over. If a tool as basic, as old as the jump rope, can evolve into at least four distinct, specialized modern versions, so distinct they needed AI to properly sort them out, then what other simple, everyday objects around you right now might be undergoing their own quiet revolution? Think about the stuff in your kitchen, on your desk, things you assume are just static. What hidden optimizations, what engineered specificity might be happening right under your nose that you just haven't noticed yet?